to episode 7 of The Plug. I'm your host, Quierra, where we are doing a special edition Carolina Panthers. We're going to give you the top 5 things they need to fix down in Charlotte. And you guys, this is my longest commitment. I'm kind of happy with myself right now. 7 episodes in, and we're already giving you another special edition. So let's get you guys plugged in. Alright guys, let's dive into, I feel like, the hot topic of the NFL. I know we regularly do our top 7 topics, games of the week, yada yada yada, but I feel like the Panthers have been in the news more so than often. So I'm going to give you my top 5 things they need to fix immediately, and also read out some of the comments I got via Facebook and Twitter. First things we need to do as not only a team, but also a fan base. 2015 is over. We need to let it go. It happened, let it be. The more we keep sitting here talking about it and having it play in our back of our mind, the more it's going to be a downer that we're 1-5 and not 15-1. We have to realize that every season is a new season and it's a restart over. We can't keep being focused on what happened, the team we did have, the people we did have, and we need to focus on what we have now, what we can do better, who we need to cut and who we need to bring in. The more you keep focusing on the bad, the good can never happen. So let's cut 2015 out of our minds and let's focus on the 2016 season. The next thing we need to do is to get off of Cam's back. And I know I said this in like so many episodes ago, but I think we need to realize that Cam is not more so frustrated with, I think, losing. I think it has something to do with the fact that I don't think the front office backs him enough. The front line has been an issue for years. It's not the first season. Last season wasn't the first season, nor the season before that. The offensive line has got to be better in protecting Cam. And this is also another top 5 that needs to be addressed immediately. But we're going to focus on Cam. Cam has to realize that this team has his back, and I don't think he gets that. I think he feels alone. I think he gets to the point where he wants to win by himself. There isn't a sense of urgency in no other player like there is for Cam. And Cam, as we all know, has been a champion in almost every element of football he's been in. So to come to another team and be 6-5 years in and not win anything and just feel like a continuous loser, it has to be tiring. And it also has to be tiring that your front office nor your team has the urgency nor the balls to do more. It has to be like draining. So let's stand with Cam, realize that, you know what, he's going to get upset upon him. Okay, that's Cam Newton. Just deal with it. We have his attitude, got it. We need to get behind Cam and we need to push like he's pushing and be winners like he wants us to win. The next we need to address, as mentioned with Cam, is our offensive line. I don't know what Gelman, Riviera, whomever, somebody needs to realize that we have got to start drafting offensive linemen. Cam's blind side is the worst. He has, I don't even know, like since 2014, he was already the most sacked quarterback. 3 years later, he's still the most sacked quarterback. Since he's been in the league, since 2011, he has been sacked more than any other quarterback. And that is an absolute fact. In 2014, they did the stats of Cam Newton, 467 sacks and hits over the last 3 seasons, more than double of any other quarterback in the league. That was in 2014. In 2016, it's still a problem and it hasn't been addressed. I don't know what they thought Michael Orr was going to do. I don't know what they thought Reynolds was going to do, but he's even worse than Orr. They have to find some type of a veteran, or they need to draft somebody to fix that O-line. They have to protect Cam. You can't have a franchise quarterback and be so behind him and so in love with him, and yet he's destroyed in every single game, every season he's been in the NFL. You have to protect him or you won't have him for 5 years down the line. Something has to be done with that O-line immediately. The next topic, the most important topic, possibly the most talked about topic, our secondary. Was Josh Norman a mistake? Absolutely. You know, at first, I was with Ron Rivera. He goes with the saying, our answers on the roster. At first, I believe this is okay. Rivera, he's coach of the year for a reason. He knows what he's doing. Psych. No, he doesn't. So, we lost Norman. What next, okay? So, Bradbury came in. He's out. Churchill, okay? So, Tillman retired. I mean, the only veteran presence we have back there is what, Coleman? Everybody else is a rookie. What are they going to do? I don't know. I don't even know if there's an answer in free agency other than Anton Cromartie. Possibly. That's the only other person I think of. But this past Monday, Leonard Johnson, the former Buccaneer defensive back, he's back from his Achilles injury, and he actually practiced on Monday, and everybody's expecting him to be Jesus. Everyone is expecting him to be Jesus, even Greg Olsen. I don't know if that's the answer. I hope it's the answer. Somebody needs to be the spark on this team because it's obviously not anybody current. So I'm hoping that Johnson can come back and be the veteran that this team needs to give the defense the push it needs. The defense went from 6th last year to 29th this year. That is a ridiculous jump. They have to find some type of consistency somewhere. Front office needs to be aggressive and find another veteran for that secondary, because obviously the rookies can't get it done. And waiting on Bradbury and Tillman even offered to come back. That's how bad it is. You know how bad it is when a retired player is offering to come back? That's when it gets bad. And Tillman has even been on record saying that the secondary isn't what he experienced last year. So something has to be done. Next, to me, is the aggression of the front office. The front office is horrible. I don't know if the answer is cutting Gettleman. I really don't know. But I do know that the front office lacks the goal and the balls to be aggressive in free agency and get the players that they need for this team to succeed. And the worst part about it is that this team has been awful for years. Since 2004, honestly. I mean, we've had our Super Bowl appearances, granted, but this team has consistently been bad, and there aren't any stars on this team. There are stars on this team that are homebred. Cam Newton, Luke Kuechly, Tom Davis, Samuels. Everybody are stars pertaining to the Panthers, but they haven't brought in that presence that this team needs. I think they need to start looking for veterans. They need to start bringing in people and start spending money, because there's no way you can keep looking on your roster and hoping and praying that somebody can be your savior. Not everybody can be homegrown. You have to sometimes be aggressive and grab players and make them, and bring them to your team and make them effective. At some point, they have to do that. Right now, the Panthers are sitting at what, $20 million in cap space they can spend? Why haven't they spent that money? I don't know what Gettleman is saving it for. They missed it with Josh Norman, and now look what happened. So they need to spend that money and get somebody and stop looking on their practice squad. They're on the practice squad for a reason. I don't know why you keep thinking somebody on the practice squad is going to come up and rise to the occasion. Not everybody can do that. It took Josh Norman 4 or 5 years. I don't know what you're expecting from a practice squad to come out and be effective immediately. It's not going to happen. Please, front office, get some aggression. I don't know from who, Gettleman, get it, or I honestly think the president is going to fire you soon. That's my personal preference. I actually hope he does. The Giants won a Super Bowl under you, I understand, but if you're not going to be effective in the years that you've been here and be aggressive and make this team what they need to be, it's time to cut you loose. And last but not least, we need to get back the morale of not only the team, but the fan base. I think that we're so fixated on winning that we've lost the consciousness to be real sometimes. You know, there's a lot of things this team needs to fix, and to always be consistently saying cut Cam, cut whoever, the answer isn't Cam. The answer isn't even cutting Ron Rivera. It's honestly, it has to do with front office. If the front office isn't going to be aggressive to give room for the team and the coaches to effectively build a Super Bowl championship team, it's never going to happen. It starts with Gettleman and it trickles down. He has all the money in his hands. He has the ability to bring in players. It's going to have to happen. So, as fans, we have to realize that, you know, we're going to get there eventually. We have to get that winner swagger back and give our team that boost that they need last year. You know, the packing out of Bank of America, the being at the games no matter what, it has to happen. You can't just falter and fall back whenever we start losing. That takes away the morale for the team. When they see us there, when they see us screaming and chanting and being there regardless, that gives them the motivation to win. They're trying to win for Charlotte. You know this team wants to win. I've never seen a team so dedicated to their city or to their state, honestly. The Panthers are very well known in the community. They love the city of Charlotte, and you know they want to win for you. So you have to be there and you have to back them up. Half of their swagger are you, the fans. So to help them get their swagger back and to help Cam Newton, I think we need to be there, scream, yell, do all the things we did last season, and every year believe that we're a Super Bowl team no matter what. So now I'm going to read you guys the comments that I got from Facebook and from Twitter. One of my really good friends, Dante Sellers, says, first, of course, the secondary. We had a great blend of veteran leadership with Roman Harper and Charles Tillman. It wasn't just Josh Norman. QB had to second guess his reads because of the veteran experience we had. Second was the pass rush. Teams underrated KK as a threat, so he's being doubled, even tripled at times. Defensive ends have to provide pressure on those one-on-one matchups. The third, offensive line struggles. Fourth, wide receiver threat. I think that's a huge problem as well. KB, like, catches and stops. He doesn't even finish the run. He doesn't catch yards after the catch. He just catches and falls. And that's something that Dante pointed out. And fifth, of course, is swagger. What happened to our swagger? Defense played with a chip on their shoulder at all times. No team would celebrate after the first down or touchdown because he wasn't having that. The new unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, in my opinion, has watered down our intensity, one of our strengths. Seth Reeves says on corners such as Antonio, have an intervention with Dave Gettleman, teach the O-line how to protect the franchise quarterback, develop a pass rush to help our young experienced corners, and of course, press reset in the whole season. Carl Morrow, one of also my good friends from East Carolina, stated that turnover differential, we've got to start winning the turnover battle. And two, more production from our front four. Trey Boston leads the team in sacks. It will help out the young secondary and give them some confidence going in the second half of the season if you get some pressure from the pass defense. Also, a lot of people said morale. Of course, Cam Newton's a blonde goatee. And also secondary. That's been a heavy thing people kept saying. Our secondary sucks. And of course it will with rookies. But I do appreciate all your comments, all of your interaction with me on social media. It's very helpful in picking out some of the things that are interest to you and also some things I can read off and play back to you via camera. Alright, the least I can do is give you guys the Panther that I'm most happy with and of course the Panther that I'm upset with. So my charged up player on the Panthers is, as always, Greg Olsen. Oh, reliable. He's like that golden retriever, you know, the one that just saves the day every time. He's like, what's that dog name? Who is it, Winston?
Lassie?
Lassie, there we go. He is Lassie. And Greg, if you're watching this, you're not a dog. I'm just saying you're somebody who we can always rely on to get the ball, to make the yards, to get the touchdown, to be the one consistent player on our team. So for that, Greg Olsen is my charged up player of the Panthers. The worst player, the player who needs their plug pulled, everything, sit down in the corner with a dunce cone head, Kelvin Benjamin. I know. I know, and everybody would totally disagree with me. I know, even Winston is like, what the fuzzy? I know, but listen to me. Kelvin, this is technically his sophomore season. I totally get it, and I had such high hopes for Kelvin coming back. I knew he was gonna like just come out and do stuff and just milli rock. But you know, he's kind of disappointed me this season. I honestly think Devin Funchess is like stepping in his spotlight. Devin against the Saints last week was better than Benjamin. A lot better, actually. He was a bit more consistent. Like I said earlier, Benjamin like catches the ball and falls. He doesn't even attempt to get yards. And of course, I know he's like sometimes double, even triple team sometimes. But I just feel like he just catches it. So he needs to get his plug pulled. I think he needs a little bit of work. Of course, I think he's going to grow and become a fantastic wide receiver. He has the height and the weight Cam needs. But right now, his plug is full. Sorry, guys. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning into The Plug. I am Quierra Luck. As always, more of your questions, comments, and concerns can be reached to me at Quierra_Luck right here on the bottom. I would love to thank my commitment partner right now, my creative director, Winston, for hanging in with me this long. Again, this is the longest commitment I've had. Proud of myself. I'm also thankful for you guys tuning in and making this the best experience possible. As always, stay plugged in, and I will see you guys next Thursday at 11 a.m.